Folks, welcome to another world building workshop. Tonight is episode 3 of Growing the Great Green Sea. I'm going to go ahead and hop around a little bit just to make sure that we are up and running. And then I'm going to bring in Instagram, which of course is on the other screen, and then we'll get started. So I'll give it just 1 second so I can attempt to find. Yes. It would be good if I could see it. Why? It's like it's different every time. I swear. Oh. Hey, I think this is it. All right. Okay, I can see it on the screen now. Now I just need to find... I swear. Nope, I don't want that. Where? What? What on the actual earth is going on here? Now I can't see the chat for some reason. Of course. Can't even confirm that we're good audio right now. Alright, let's go this way. Let's take the long road. See if we can't find it that way. Alright, I see it. I see it. Okay. There you go. Play on TV. Nope. 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 Okay. Hey, here we go. I don't see a chat either, but can hear sound. Okay, excellent. So we've got confirmation of audio. That's good. But we can't see a chat. Why? Why is there no chat? Reps. World building, yes. The thing is... Okay, that looks good. Live chat is disabled for this video? What? Okay. I don't know why. Okay, you know what? I think it's probably... Yes. Save. There we go. It says chat is disabled for... Content made for kids. Yeah, this... I am not made for children. We need to change... There we go. Live chat. I see it. Alright, now if I can find my way back to... back to the dadgum... Yes. Hey. There's a chat box. Thank you very much for your help. Alright, let's go ahead and bring in... Is it marked for kids? Yep. He had it. Okay. Let's rock and roll the Instagrams. Welcome, folks, to another World Building Wednesday. Tonight we're going to be talking about building the Great Green Sea. This is episode 3, and so we've already done quite a bit of building. But as always, if you want to see what is on my paper, please follow the bio link. Come check out this live stream. It's happening concurrently on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. I need to move things around a little bit so I can see that better. Excellent. And I think we're ready to go ahead and get started. I can see the chat on YouTube. I can see the chat on Instagram. And we're ready to rock and roll. So, last week we talked about some of the finer points of what goes into maybe not necessarily the city, right? The city specifically, but the region, right? There's some more to the region, and that of course goes into the building of a specific city. But tonight we're definitely going to be talking specifically about Bastion Iron Tree and everything that has gone into its history and its making. And hopefully this helps you whenever you world build your environment, and you'll be able to follow the steps that I've taken tonight. Once again, I've taken notes just to keep me on track, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, YouTube. Yeah, if you can't see the chat, please just restart the stream, and you'll be able to see the chat box. Excellent. So, I'll quickly review what we talked a bit about last week. Hey, GemQuill88 got their first invite to D&D. That's awesome. I'm glad. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. It's a steep and deep hole, but welcome. We're glad that you're here. So enjoy. Last week, we talked a bit about when the environment was founded, a terrain feature, which is easy with the Great Green Sea, when the actual locale was founded. Sorry, folks. My wife's just being a turkey in the Instagram chat. The type of settlement that we're dealing with, how the hierarchy is established, so what goes into the government structure and everything surrounding that. And if you recall last week, we discussed that the Bastion Iron Tree revolves around a council, the Tradesman Council. And this Tradesman Council is run by local guild leaders that buy their seat on the council. And then, of course, there's kind of the tiebreaker that comes from a military faction provided by the national government, even though Bastion Iron Tree pretty much governs itself. Then we talked a little bit about the community factions and things that go into making the world feel full and the establishment of that community. So things like churches, guilds, gangs, councils, all those things. And we're definitely going to delve deeper into that tonight. So let us commence. Now, whenever we're getting deeper into the environment here and we're really nailing down this city, right? There are a couple of things that will go towards helping that city feel full, feel like there's infinite depth to it. And one of the best things that we can do to generate that feeling is historic events. And this historic events, this is the sort of thing that monuments are made of, right? Why is there a statue in the city square? What happened there to make that happen? And that is going to really give the feeling of depth to your world, to this environment. If you can say, oh yeah, there's a statue in the city square, and if a player asks about it, you can say, oh, he was a war hero. He saved his company from utter destruction in the war against the dwarves, and he attained great glory and valor for his family, and the statue stands to this day. And that really tells your players, like, holy smokes, dude, like, I was just joking. I wasn't even thinking that you would have anything. But because we've given it an ounce of thought, it doesn't have to be crazy. We don't have to go overboard with historic events. But having one or two for each city really goes a long way to helping your world feel full. Chaos mentions economy, iconic members, families, and factions. Yeah, those are all important aspects of a town, and we're definitely going to talk about a couple of those. The next thing, so this historic events, this is the stuff monuments are made of. Monumental. And then, of course, we have natural events. And when we talk natural events, for everyone on Instagram, if you are interested in seeing the notes, go ahead and follow my bio link over to YouTube and join us there. You'll be able to see all my notes. Natural events. This could be the storm that Grandpappy's always talked about. This could be the thing. Everyone has. Oh yeah, back in '82 it hit 132 degrees or whatever. Like something preposterous. It's a natural event, but it's something small and unique to the environment that provides you with fodder to sprinkle on your players. And once again, all of this goes to, all these little puzzle pieces go towards building a complete picture, right? John on YouTube mentions the Great Flood. That's precisely correct. The things that happen that in the environment that go towards the making of history. So we've got a question. Do you find you can improvise things like that, historical info, as you've gotten better at GMing? Yes. So these are definitely improvisational. Like, you can do it, but if you have kind of an idea, so when we're preparing this, we don't have to go overboard, like I said, and just have everything made and the entire world defined. I mean, you'd have a big old Taldore-sized book that you have to fish through to get information. And so I would even say it's better to improv some of it. Or if not improv, include your players. Yeah, so Best Dad Forever hits it right on the spot. This allows your players to help you with the world building too. One of the things that I love to do is, if I need an NPC, hey, you're in this inn, I'd like to talk to somebody. Have a look around. Who do you see? And let the player describe someone unique. Excellent. Here's their name. Here's another aspect about them. Let them be involved in the process, because we're just one person. We only have one brain to put towards this. There's no reason we can't bring the 4, 5, 6 other players at our table into the world building, because what this does is it helps them feel engaged, right? You've engaged them rather than them sitting and listening to you tell the story of ages. It allows you to bring them in, pull them into your world, and create some investment. Not only are you engaging your players because, hey, that's a great idea. As you go to the monument of the dwarf with his axe and his shield, what do you read on the plaque? What great deed did he do? And then suddenly your player is invested in the world because you engaged them in the world building. It definitely, like Chaos says, increases that ownership. So, natural events. Now, this isn't just like the Great Flood, right? We could think of it as just the Great Flood, but there's more to it. We could include in this, especially with Dungeons and Dragons or any role-playing game, there's an aspect of magic that needs to go into this. So we can include what magical events have taken place. The Great Founding, when magic first entered the world. Like, okay, sure, I just made that up off the top of my head, but it suddenly, ooh, what's the founding? And it talks about how, oh yes, a deity, right? We can talk about deities. That would fall. I would put, right, when you're reading the insurance claims and it talks about acts of God, right? Boom, natural events are acts of God. The deities, they are definitely going to fall into this natural events category. Things that could not be controlled because some deity on a whim got in a fight with another deity and scarred your planet. And that's what this great canyon in your planet is. is, oh wow, this Grand Canyon sized space, what happened here? Oh, that was when so and so fought so and this happened, a natural event. Chaos, once again, natural events that are unraveled by the party in current story, like a millennial awakening of whatever, right? And that is definitely something that is fun for your players to discover, because especially if you have kind of a more exploratory campaign where your players are out and about in the world and doing things, there's definitely the opportunity to discover. Humans love discovery. We love finding secrets. It's why there's entire thriller and adventure genres of literature, film, video games, because we love to discover. So, allow your players to do that with magic, with deities, with natural events, and find these great nuggets in your world. All right, let's move on. Got to keep moving. Sorry, guys. I have notes here. That way I can stay on track and not just devolve. We went a little over last week. I think it was like an hour and 10 minutes. But we're going to do good today. So, traditions. This is another huge one when it comes to making your players feel like this world is actually lived in. If you want players to feel like a world is lived in, there's got to be quirks. There's got to be little things for them to see and be like, oh, wait, it wasn't just our dungeon master or our game master explaining to me. One of my favorites is so Keith Baker has Phoenix Dawn Command, and it's a card-driven role-playing game, really fun deck builder. But there's a people in the game, and they talk with their hands a lot. And so as they sign, and you just make stuff up as you go, but you make these signs as you talk to your players, and they're like, oh, like what's that? And it helps differentiate the culture and the character of that NPC simply because they are living the tradition. So this could be, we could include in these traditions taboos, things that they're like, oh no, we don't step on the doorway when we shake hands. That's a no-no, which is an actual cultural thing common in Europe. Like, you don't put your foot on the threshold as you go to shake someone's hand. Like, that's a no-no. Rituals, things that we just commonly do, right? That's a great way to denote tradition or a certain aspect. Greetings, idioms, colloquialisms, those are really powerful, and I definitely encourage you to let your players help you with these, because you could sit here and just stew. Man, you could just stew for days and days and not come up with stuff. Please use your players for this. You saw earlier in the Instagram chat, cool waters and sweet waters and cool breezes. That is a colloquialism, a greeting that was created by one of my players in one of my campaign settings. And the moment that he said that, just trying to be in character and role play as this paladin of, a water worshiper in this desert environment, he was just role playing. And the moment that was said, it was done. Canon. Write it down. Put it in the group chat. From now on, canon. And that is just a small little colloquial greeting that gives your world depth. And that was created by a player. And it was really fun. That moment is super cool. So Chaos mentions these taboos that could be attached to curses, right? This is like talking about the boogeyman. Could be kind of fall into that. Oh, we don't do that because, the boogeyman will come. And that could be what you tell the children. But also, we have to remember, we're in a magical roleplay setting, probably. There's no reason there can't be actual grounds to that. And that is a fun moment when your players, oh yeah, we just do this thing, and yeah, whatever. and then like the boogeyman shows up, and they realize like, oh, the village was like legit serious about like not doing that. There was a reason that taboo existed, and that would be a really fun moment, a fun encounter for your players that definitely drives home the feeling of, oh wow, that tradition existed for a reason. The DM didn't just make it up. All right, and with that tradition existing for a reason, we fall right into the next one, is legends and myths. Now, I hail from Arizona, and in Arizona we have the Mogollon monster, and the Mogollon monster is a Bigfoot sort of character, right? And of course, Bigfoot falls into that. You've got Mothman, you've got all sorts of, you've got Chupacabra, you've got all sorts of creatures and legends and myths. But we can think about too the feel or the vibe of divine myths, right? There's kind of the mortal feeling of legends and the divine feeling of myths. And I don't know, maybe that's just for me, but it feels like there's a difference there. And it's small, but it's something that you can drop on your players when they encounter the opportunity for that. They talk to the old man and they get, this legend, this myth. And then you find out that legend or that myth sources from legitimacy, like all legends and myths probably did, right? I think about Hercules. Was he really such an animal? I thought that actually Dwayne Johnson's Hercules was actually really fun because it addressed the idea that, hey, he had a team, and it was kind of a conspiracy to accomplish these great deeds in his name. They were writing on his name, but it really drove home the idea that, like, oh yeah, legends are made, myths are made, and we worked together as a team to make them. And so your players can discover these legends and myths in your world and realize, like, ooh, hey, there's grounds to that, as they realize that the big bad evil guy is pursuing this myth. Yeah, the Superstition Mountain Thunderbird is another great example. Yeah, John, that's exactly how it feels to me. The mortal feeling of legends, the divine feeling of myths, right? But those things, they can source into items, they can source into places, they can source into people, right? We always think of, oh yeah, the myth of Hercules, or the myth of a monster, right? The Bigfoot, sort of the legend of Bigfoot. But really, what about Excalibur? Excalibur is just as much of a legend or a myth as any other. Or the place. Think about the lore and the curiosity surrounding a place like any standing stones, a random obelisk, right? You find this obelisk in the desert. Ooh, what's a juicy little myth about that? So cool. Such a great thing that you can add to your game to give it depth and feeling. All right. Now we can talk about merchants, guilds, inns, and religions. And we talked a little bit about some guilds because we got into like the Tradesman Council last week. But in general, I'm going to reiterate this in case anyone didn't see it from episode 2, is depending upon the size of your establishment. We've got a village, a town, a city, and a capital, right? And the number of these things that I recommend you prepare ahead of time depends. Heracles doesn't believe in Hercules. Thank you, Chaos. But the number of things that you prepare for your notes, just to have on hand, depends on the size of the establishment, right? So 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 plus of merchants, guilds, inns, and religions. And of course, religions can kind of be across the board. You'll encounter religion everywhere. But when I'm talking about here, this is definitely more in the line of local establishments. What shrines, what cults, what churches, what temples exist, right? So yes, religions, especially if you've got a multi-theistic pantheon and you have the full spectrum of gods. I think I've got 24 gods in my main campaign, a full gambit of gods. Those span the continent, those span the world. If they are a god, then of course they span the environment. But the people that worship them and the effort that goes into that worship definitely change dependent upon region. It's the same as here in the U.S., but different flavors of Christianity. You've got the Bible Belt of the South. Everyone's heard of that. Everyone knows that Utah is full of Mormons, right? You know that you're going to encounter large groups of Lutherans in certain environments. It's the same thing, right? The religions span the world, but in certain environments, they're definitely going to see a higher density. So we have to consider what is the density, the prime density of the religion in that area. Best Dad Forever says, speaking of locations, sometimes a location's purpose has been lost to time. So adding an odd thing like a Stonehenge will pique curiosity, but ultimately has nothing to do with any plot hooks. And that, I think, is a great thing. We have to remind our players, because so here's what we have to remind our players of. Not everything is pertinent, right? It's the meme, the concept that you go into a room. Oh, do I perceive anything? No, you do not perceive anything in this room. But do I? As your players hone in on your language and they're like, oh, there's a mimic in here somewhere. There's a trap door. Someone roll investigation. We're going to find the secret. At the end of the day, dude, it's just a room. There's literally nothing here. And so you could encounter these ruins, and that might be a great opportunity for a random encounter or a random utility encounter where they have to solve a puzzle. But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the actual plot. So we do have to be careful that we don't distract them too hard, don't hook them into things, but maybe super loosely tie it back. That way there's a feeling of closure. You can kind of feel like, oh yes, you've encountered these ruins, this random ruins. You poke around the ruins and you find what looks to be an old symbol of Kadal hidden in the ruins. Oh. And the players look at each other and they say, oh, does Kadal have anything to do with our quest right now? Nope. And they all move on, right? But it did let them know that there is a history, there's a world, and that's the whole point of world building, is to create all these little puzzle pieces that our players can discover and piece together and realize that the world is vast. Well, and chaos is on the right of it. Everything is a potential plot device, especially if you unintentionally pull them somewhere, right? Side quests happen. That's a thing. But we can follow that side quest, and here's a secret. Here's a secret, everybody. As you have players that go on a side quest and they divert onto this random hook that really wasn't supposed to be a thing, and they dig into the ruins, and there's a random encounter, and they fight something, and they find a piece of treasure. And ooh, what does this treasure lead to? And they follow this, and then suddenly, the main plot is forgotten. Eventually, maybe let this go on a couple of sessions. Let them have their side quest. They were interested. Because your players were interested in it, that is where you should go. Let me reiterate that. Because that is what your players were interested in, that is where you should go. Do not railroad your players into whatever it is that you think is the plot. Wherever your players go, that is the plot. You are one person at this table, right? And if you have 4 players, just four players at the table, you are only 20% of the game. Even though you have all the notes and all the books and the screen and the dice and the minis and the board and the whole room and everything, you are just 20% of the table. The rest of your players have an interest in something. They say, ooh, man, that's really cool. Let them explore it. Stop trying to pull them. Stop trying so hard to pull them back onto what you think is the main plot. But the world is burning. Guess what, man? If the world is burning and they're following Boblin the Goblin into the forest because it's cool, they are doing what they want to do. They're having fun. The whole point of the game. Right on the cover, guys. The game. If you want to write a book, go write a book. If you want a perfect story, man, that's the only way to do it. But letting your players do what they're going to do, man, as soon as you let that happen, you will realize that your players are infinitely more invested and infinitely more engaged in the game that you are helping to facilitate. That's it. Adlanter says, the mentality is what had made it so great for me to learn the game at my table. I appreciate that, man. It's and that's the whole point. We're here to have fun. We're here to play a game. And just so you know, the math was right. You are just 20%. If you've got 4 people, that's 5 people total at the table. 20%. I'm running Frostmaiden right now, and there are 10 tens. Wait, what? 10? Did you just say 10, like 10 players? Just tried to go to every town. It's exhausting. I rewrote so much. Let them have the journey. Yep, move so many quests to different towns. My setting lore is 100% player derivative. This is the way. You see me say that a lot on social media. This is the way. Have fun, okay? And I can tell you all night how to play the game. Man, you don't have to listen to me. At the end of the day, like, do what you're gonna do. Have fun. That's all I need you to do, right? Just have fun. Help your players have fun. Because if you have fun and your players have fun, then more D&D is getting played. And I have literally run hundreds of games of D&D with, at this point, more than 100 players, different players. And you're like, whoa, Bronson, like that's a lot of people to burn through. What I'm saying is, I've had a lot of opportunities to dungeon master for a lot of different people, and take it or leave it, guys. This game is a game, and it's about having fun. It's a collective storytelling game, and you are a very small part of the collective. Cerberus says, I've seen a lot of personal narrative just blossom in opposition to the story, right? I'm not following the railroad because insert gold here showed me a lot about real people. Yeah, 100%. I 100% agree with that. You will, as you follow this, like, it will do things. Yeah, that's great. As you make plot points and plot devices and things, you'll discover what your players are looking for. And that's really going to help you then facilitate that, right? If you design, oh man, the chat's going wild, guys. I'm sorry, I can't keep up with you. Hey, 88, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that's helping. How many have you sacrificed to Baal? Wags, hey man, you know what? Stop asking questions. I'll disappear you with the rest. I've killed a lot of player characters. You know what? And Best Dad Forever's on it. He's like, yeah, let's get back to the Great Green Sea. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for moderating for me a little bit. Maritime says, currently we have a coven of witches messing with a town that my party is investigating. And they've been having a blast, creating clues for them to stitch together. And that's it. You found something that your players wanted to do. Let them hook onto it. Work around it. Cool? Make the story that they want to find, because they're going to make the story that they want anyways. You might as well go stress-free and just freaking buckle up for the ride, baby, because it's going down. All right. So real quick, I'm probably running over already. Yeah, we're getting close. Okay. So real quick, I want to talk about merchants, guilds, inns, and religions. Okay. We got diverted. Stop it. Okay. Things for us to consider. Things that are really important for us to consider. Whenever we're making our 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, however many we need to make, we need a name. Whoa. Mind boggled. Right? You need a name. Just come up with a name. Right? Let's make one right now. Let's make a guild. We're going to make a guild. We talked a little bit about guilds last week, and we had a couple really good ones. Let's see. What were... we had... Oh, the Airships Guild, the Thieves. Let's come up with a Thieves Guild. Let's work on that together tonight. Let's make a Thieves Guild, and I'm going to show you some of the things, some of the details that I pull in, that I keep track of whenever I am making a guild. Ooh, the Merchant Guild of Religion. The Gilded Hallows. Ooh, I'm going to write that down just because I like it. But let's work on a Thieves Guild, because I need a Thieves Guild. I have a game coming up this weekend. Ooh, the Hatchman. Ooh, the Hatchman. Oh, I need to align my stuff too. I'm all wonky. The Hatchman sounds good. The Gilded Hallows. And remember, we are at Bastion Iron Tree, which is essentially, think of it as a world tree in the shoals of the Great Green Sea. The Midnight Lanterns. Ooh, the Midnight Lanterns. I like the idea of... So let's see if we can mess around with kind of the tree thing. The Unseen Three Thieves Guild. No. The Unseen Three. The Shadows Siblings. Ooh, I kind of like that. That's a fun one. The Shadows Siblings. Let's move up my notes here. The Rat's Nest. Ooh, I kind of like that one. Iron Claw. Iron Claw. Okay, let's go with the Shadow Lanterns. The Shadow Lanterns. All right, that's the name. I wrote it down. Boom. Now, the Shadow Sisters. Ooh, I like the idea of having like a special assassins group called the Shadow Sisters in the Shadow Lanterns. So the sisters. I like that. Okay. So now a thing to think of is the goal. What is the goal? Right? The Fruit Ninja. Thank you, Chaos. The crab. Birch and Bark. That sounds like a really good tavern name. The Birch and Bark. Yeah, I like that. I'm writing that one down. That's going in the list. Okay. A goal. We need a goal. A goal. What is the goal of every Thieves Guild? Your sister's shadow. The goal of every Thieves Guild, get rich, right? We've got the Shadow Lanterns. They could be, I'm getting kind of a smuggler vibe out of them, with the shadows and the lanterns sort of thing. The Shaded Lanterns. Ooh, I like that, Wags. That's good. Objective is to reclaim an ornate icon of the tree. Ooh. That feels very like religion sectish, right? That's got a definite religious vibe, an icon, right? The Shadow Sisters. Yes. So I'm just gonna go with a generic kind of a smuggler's guild. This is a major mercantile airship port. Do the Shadow Lanterns each have one of my driftlight globes of darkness? That could be fun, actually. That would be fun. Yeah, it's a smuggler's guild. So the whole point of their operation is to move things that shouldn't be moved, and move it through this port. Ooh, a sap-based drug could be interesting. Yeah. Ooh. Options. See, there's so many options. See what happens when we include other people in the world building. The family tree, mafia themed. Slam, I like that. The family tree. Yes, you're gonna cross the family tree. We're gonna swing you from the branches. Excellent, love it. All right, we need a description, okay? And when we're describing this, I'm talking about how can you denote a member of this guild or this. So this is a thieves guild, a member of this merchants guild, or a member of this religion. What denotes them? What sets them apart? How can think European monk robes? You know, the brown habit and the bald spot, right? You instantly think European monk. When you see the orange and the yellow and the loose robes, you instantly think, oh yeah, Asian monk, right? The twig and leaf. So we need a physical description. I like that. Obtain the train of nymphs. So we need a physical descriptor that can be applied to the members. This could be something as simple as a tattoo, right? Every member of this guild has a, what's the Xanathar's guild? You've got the eye, or the eye, tattooed on you somewhere, right? So it could be as simple as that. It could be a certain tool or a weapon that they use, something that they all wear. Something for us to consider as we move forward. Let me know what you think. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like the idea of... So, Chaos, you come up with all these really great, like, religious feeling things that instantly makes me think of, like, oh, that's definitely the Rastagari have, like, the olive branch tattooed on their forehead. Frankincense is a hardened sap, yeah. One red earring, just one. And you know what? I like that. Let's go with that. Ooh, actually, Austin, even better. We can go with an earring kind of denotes your rank, right? So if you've got one, like, you're in the gang, but you can tell, like, you're somebody if you've got two. Ooh, I like that. That's an interesting concept, Cerberus. That's a fun one. So let's go with the red earring for now, because that's easy to describe. You can instantly say, oh yeah, you encounter somebody and he has three. You see somebody in the market and he has 3 red earrings, and everybody's like, oh boy, big boy in town, sort of thing. And you know that he is like a local leader of that gang. So now I love to have a motto. This is like the Game of Thrones family words. What do they represent? And I'll go ahead. A position on the ear. Yeah, it could be a spot on the ear where it is. That's good. Yeah, kind of like the pips on Star Trek. Yep, exactly. But a motto. We need a motto. Ooh. And in the YouTube chat, we've got a great comment. Making it look like a lantern, or that it can glow. It has a little glow to it. So that the shadow lanterns could be fun. So the lantern, I like that. So yeah, now we need group words. And you know what? Because I'm running a little low on time, I'm going to write down all the things. That way we can see them and get to them. And once again, everybody who's here, if you want to see my notes, please just come watch on YouTube. I know it's a few seconds behind and that can be frustrating, and a lot of the chat happens here on Instagram because I've been doing this on Instagram for a while now. But that's where the notes are. It's on YouTube. So if you want to watch that, just follow my bio link and you'll find us doing this right here. So we're still here. But we have the motto, any special NPCs, any potential quests they could give, location in the Bastion, benefits. And this could be benefits from working with them, benefits from working against them, benefits from completing quests for them, anything that they could do. What do they do for you, for the players? What do they represent for the players, right? Stick them. Their organization. Oh, yeah. So organization refers to how shadows play on the edge of light. Ooh, John, that's solid. The shadow reveals the light. Definitely play on the may the tree never fall on its shadow. Our light in shadow. Quill, we're on 2 devices. So this is here on the phone because Instagram doesn't play well with other streaming services. And so it's like either do Instagram or do something else. And so we have YouTube up on my webcams, but I have my phone here on Instagram. May the tree never fall in its shadow. John's got some great ones here. The shadow reveals the light. Shadows play on the edge of light. I like this light shadow sort of thing here. Some really solid stuff. And then the founding. Okay. I have that down in the notes at least, so that if we don't get to it, then we don't get to it. But it's in the notes, and we can keep working. Okay, so shadows play on the edge of light. All right, we're gonna sit on that one a little bit. NPCs. This is. You could make specific NPCs. You can make specific NPCs, so have like a guild leader or a gang leader or a whomever, a special thug or a big bad evil guy. When shadow blooms, the light goes unseen. Oh man, you guys are full of good stuff. Love it. But I gotta keep going. So NPCs, this could be specific NPCs, so make like a specific NPC, but more importantly, make things for them to say. Think about the goals that we've come up with, our descriptors, our mottos. You know, it's the family words, if you will. Part of the family. The family words. It's, the winter is coming sort of vibe. But the NPCs need to have voice lines. Think of a couple voice lines. That way, if the players do encounter a member of this guild or this gang or whomever, you have something for them to say that is pertinent. Because you could just say random villainous stuff. Okay, thanks. That wasn't super helpful. That didn't drive the narrative. But if you think about it for like 2 seconds and, what's something you would say? Bam, you write it down. And as you're going along, that would be a good line. Okay, cool. Write that down. And that way, whenever your players encounter that, it provides you with instant fuel for pushing the role-play narrative. The hands of shadow create the light. Oh, man. So our objective, right, these guys were smugglers, right? So definitely kind of playing on the light and dark sort of thing. Mourned gloom hollow, a noble who hides the sappy drug in their abode. Where is my help? Why do you ask? Do you need work? Yeah, we're building a thieves guild, specifically like a smugglers guild, and so the I like kind of the whole there is no light here sort of thing, right? You'll find no light here, sort of. That could our lanterns cast no light. Boom. I love it. Okay, our lanterns cast no light. Our lanterns cast no light. We're definitely going for the guild's objective. They're smugglers, so it's definitely profit. It's all economic profit based. They are trying to generate income, and that is through through the trafficking of a drug, through the trafficking of any illegal goods. To what service does the tree bend? Oh, is that for a motto? That would be interesting. To what service does the tree bend? That's a good motto for another group, I think. To what service? I'm gonna write that down because I like that for like a merchant's guild. To what service does the tree bend? Does the tree bend? Okay, so come up with back to topic. Man, you guys are out of control. Fallow Ashfort, a druidess. Her beasts carry dark lanterns. Ooh, I like it. Our lanterns cast the light that shines between the stars. Ooh, getting all. That's a voice line, right? When you're facing the big bad evil guy, and you're like, "Why are you doing this thing?" And he's going on his like villainous monologue. Our lanterns cast the light that shines between the stars. Fun. Super cool. Love that. That's a good voice line. A quest. What's a quest? The bark protects the heart and gives life. I like that, John. So now, what's a couple of quests that this guild could give our players, right? And what's the sort of legal front, illegal behind sort of vibe that we're getting from like any thieves guild, right? There has to be a front, and so it could be an escort quest. Since they're smugglers, it's optimal for an escort quest. Your players could, here we go. Your players could be on an escort quest, thinking that they're escorting whatever food, and then somewhere along the line, they get boarded and searched, and they're like, "What are you guys doing escorting these illegal goods, these illicit goods?" And that would create some great moral dilemma for the players. Like, do we follow through with the job that we've been paid for, or do we go lawful good and we're like, "Yeah, we didn't know anything about it," and rat them out, sort of thing. So that would create some interesting moral dilemma for your players. Right, exactly. That's a good one. Transport the box, but don't open. Very transporter. Here's your package. Deliver this. Don't ask any questions. As like the body's moving in the bag, sort of thing. Yeah, very good. Escorting pets and animals. Ooh, a procurement quest. I think that would be a good one too. Go get this for me, and then you go get it for them, and you realize like, oh, we got that for the bad guys. Another great moral dilemma. I really like that. Solid. Manga Artist 303. Very good. So escorts and procurement. Those would both be really great quest options. From the town to the pier, insert port city. Yeah, exactly. All right, a location. This is simple. This is simple. Where are they in the facility? Where are they in the town? What part of town? North side, south side, the port ward, whatever. This is just so that when your players ask, you're able to give them an idea of, oh yeah, they commonly control this part of the city, right? And being in a tree city like this is, Bastion Iron Tree, the idea of, oh yes, they're in the whatever branch. So we might, when you can just like take a rope to the next branch or the next tier of the town, the whole idea of having wards or locations that they're stuck in is kind of meh about it. So we could describe the specific, like the mansion house of the guild leader. But this is just kind of an idea for you. Have that geographic location or descriptor. Are they in the trunk? Are they out on like the branch sort of thing? Have that descriptor in mind so that when players inevitably inquire about it, you have that information, and then you don't have to make it up on the spot. Can you make it up on the spot? Yes. Yes, you can. That's okay. The Lantern Shop. Ooh. Man, manga artist is on it. The Lantern Shop. That's what they call it. That's the front, right? The front, the Lantern Shop. And they sell general lighting things for the lighting of things. The Lantern Shop. Excellent. All right, the benefits. This is the what do the players get out of being on the good side, having a reputation with these people? This could be, so like if you were to think from a perspective of a church or a temple, what is the benefit of befriending a life temple? Hey, old man rolling dice. Good to have you here, man. What's the benefit of a life temple? Well, that is simply, if we need healing, we can go there and get healing. So what is the benefit of knowing or having... certain rogues have the ability to, like, you have a criminal background. I think it's a background, actually. So with that, you know certain people. Like, you can go to town and you know certain people. So why would a player want to know the Shadow Lanterns? Well, for the procurement of things. Sanctuary, that's a great one. They have various safe houses around town. They're a great information resource. That's awesome. John, that's a good one. But yeah, I think that the biggest benefit of knowing, Best Dad Forever's on it. Fence the loot. These guys are in the movement of illicit products, right? And so they are in the business of fencing things. That's what they do. They get bad thing from point A to point B, and that's their job. And so if you insert the thing that you came across, they have the way to get money for that. And that's a great role-playing opportunity for your players. You get robbed less. That's a good one too. Actually, in a certain part of town, you have like their protection, and it's actually like a real deal. So benefit, the guild owes you a favor. Yeah. So whenever you need to, move a product or get somebody out of town, ooh, that's a good one. And it doesn't even have to be for bad reasons. We always think of smuggling as for bad reasons. What about smuggling people to safety? Get them out. Underground railroad people out of town, sort of thing. You could call on them and say, hey, I have somebody that needs to get out of town now, and call in a favor. That could be really fun role play. That's really what this benefit provides us, is the opportunity for your players to role play with these individuals. Manga artists, they're also probably great appraisers of items. At the very least, they'll probably be able to tell you if something's a forgery. That's actually a really good thought. I like that. Love the idea of helping a retired gangster reluctantly tie up loose ends for feel-good reasons and help the town overall. Yeah, these are all really great items. Very good. Try Tucker, awesome. Procurement of rare items, exactly. The organization. When I refer to organization, this is referring to how is the gang or the guild structured. And we can think about, like, oh yeah, what do you call, the regular guy on the street? What do you call a member of the gang? You could call him a lantern, right? And then what do you call a kind of a group leader or a gang leader or a branch leader. You could call them, a shadow father. I don't know, whatever. But this is the hierarchy within the gang. So who's at the top, right? Who are the lieutenants? Who are the local gang leaders? And then the minions, right? And this is a great way to visualize, right? Family is the inner circle. This is a great way to visualize the organization, the hierarchy of the gang, because what this does for you is it lets you map, essentially, how long it would take your players to work through the ranks to find the big bad evil guy at the top, right? Oh, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to go kill the gang leader. Well, you got to work through the thugs to get to the local leader, to get to the lieutenant, to get to the gang leader, right? So you're looking at, 2 to 4 sessions of encounters to really work your way through this group. Oh, we got also a lantern, a torch, a candle, and a flint. Yeah. Right? The matron lantern at the top of the food chain. I like that. A light, a lantern, a bloom, a shadow light. A match, a candle, a torch, a starlight, and the sun. The light is the minion, the lantern is the member. Right. These are all really solid. I think I like John here with the flint, candle, torch, and lantern. And then the shadow lantern at the top. They are the shadow behind everything, right? The namesake of the gang. So, and then of course, this is just for knowledge's sake. You don't have to have this on hand. But the founding. Why was this place founded? Who founded this? Who founded this gang for what purpose? So on and so forth. And that, from a role-playing perspective, not super necessary. You might encounter it if your players are if your first or second tier campaign is really based around digging deep into this gang. Yeah, you might need to know a little bit about the founding. The greatest light casts the greatest shadows. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! All right, folks, I think we found a new winner for the words, our family words. Manga artist busted out the greatest light casts the greatest shadow. That's a really solid one. The greatest light. Excuse me while I write for a moment. If you want to see what I'm writing, go to YouTube. The greatest light casts the greatest shadow. Solid. Freaking love it. From the greatest shadow, spring the greatest light. That's a good one too. I would say that sounds better for like a temple of light. I like that though. The flint, the candle, the torch, the torch, and the lantern. Awesome. All right, everybody. I think we have hit an hour. Gosh dang it. I'm over again. Folks, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you spent time with me. I'm really glad for all the participation. We had a really fun episode this week. Got to have a code for the guy at the door, definitely. We had a really great session this week. Really enjoyed these particulars, and I look forward to delving a little deeper. I think next week, we're going to specifically build an encounter revolving around the Great Green Sea. So that is probably going to be a combat encounter. I'll probably run us through a 5-step encounter, and but themed on the Great Green Sea. So please come on back for next week, every Wednesday, 19:15 Mountain Standard Time, and we'll keep on building the Great Green Sea. I'm glad that you're here. Come back and have some more fun with us. Thanks. Have a great night. For all of you on YouTube still here with me, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. It really means a lot to have you here with us. Manga Artist, you had some great input. So thank you very much. And as always, everybody, take care of your players.